and welcome to Season 3 of Britain's Worst Run Football Club. We're finally in the Premier League. It took a long time to get here. 2 seasons, 2 long seasons. We've played each season live. I'm probably going to change up how I do this season going forward. I'm probably going to cut out a lot of me just talking to myself and going crazy and focus mainly on each game live as we do go through. First of all, the squad has changed a little bit since you've been last here. I've spent a lot of time off recording, basically trying to find the best players that we can get in to give us a chance of staying in the Premier League. And let's not wait around. Let me show you our transfer deadline, transfer dealings, and everything in between. So at present, we was assigned 36 million in transfer funds for this season in the Prem, which is a nice amount, especially with the kind of players that we were looking at bringing in as well. I'll go through the outs first of all, and then I'll go through the ins. So on the outs, we have 9 million in transfers that we've kind of freed up to allow us to purchase more players. The biggest one here is probably Billy Kumetio. He didn't play enough for us last season. He's played 19 games, 6.82. Not the greatest. We got him on a free and we sold him for 4.6 million. Got rid of the wages off the club's bill as well. So we'll see how we get on with that. And also as well, Josh Robinson. He was a free transfer that we brought in again from Arsenal as a youth player. Southampton, for whatever reason, they wanted to buy him. We sold him for 3.9 million up front, with a potential cost of 7.25 million. Again, minimal wages taken off the bill, but it should be a good start for us so far. And the ins, that's what we basically want to see, really. We've spent 27 million so far. I just want to make sure that no one from last season has snuck through. There is one from last season. James Gomez, not sure how you pronounce it. 1.6 million we signed him for. Not realising, though, that he didn't get his work permit. So we sent him out on loan to Clermont. Should be good when he comes in. A bit of versatility with the other centre-backs that we do have. Hopefully looking to move on Maldo and Tabidze. But for now, he's out on loan until we can get a work permit for him. So we've got some big signings here, but I'll go through kind of our free transfers for now. Just some kind of backup players, really. Ryan Fredericks to challenge, well, not challenge, but to be a backup for left back and right back for Nyambe and Longello. 12,000 a week. It's like a no-brainer deal, really. Got some experience, so should hopefully do us well in the Prem. Also, again, just a backup, Patrick Roberts. Yeah. Stats seem fine. He's got some good experience as well. He's been pretty much all around. He's been in France. He's been in the Prem before. And been in Spain as well. So hopefully just a backup where required. And another one, he's probably going to be more of a first teamer. Harry Winks. 30,000 a week. It's not a small sum of change for the wages here. Good value, though, 26 to 29 million. So he's probably going to be rotating between Almendra and James in the middle of the park. We are looking for another kind of defensive midfielder as a backup. But for now, that's who we have. We kind of our free kind of English contingent of players that have come in. Now, we'll go from lowest order and higher up. So Uros Kabic, brought him in for 1.1 million. Probably going to be kind of a backup again, but a young backup at 20 years old. His value shot up to 26 to 31 million. He's on small wages. It seemed like a no-brainer. Even if he's not very good, I'm sure we can sell him on for a huge, huge profit as well. Next, Bojan Kovacic. Brought him in, 1.1 million. Again, bit of a theme with Serbian youngsters. Fantastic physicals, strength, jumping, heading's all good. Good positioning, marking, I think, for 1.1 million? 1.8 million. Seems like he's going to be a bit of a bargain player for us. He's going to be a backup centre-back, but 20 years old, definitely one for the future. And we'll see how he gets on. Speaking of for the future as well, Kasper Tobias. Goalkeeper is Polish national at the minute, 21 years old. We spent 2.8 million on him. I think Mile is going to be our number one striker, number one goalkeeper. But if you look at the reports, he's up there with him already. With Mile being 26 years old, potentially move him on if Tobias does well. But very happy with that transfer there. And then just 3 more to go through now. We've got 2 strikers in. The first is Tresoldi. He's 19 years of age, 6'1". Apparently, he's the next Roberto Bottega. In my other game that I played before, he was the next Christian Vieri, which was the main reason why I wanted to sign him. Looking at him, 6'1", 19 years old, 5 million we spent, 24,000 a week. So it's not the most in wages, but he should be a good versatile front player for us. A bit like Salcido and a bit like Lasme as well. The next one, 8 million he's cost us. Felix Afena-Gian. Very fast, good off the ball, good bravery, good aggression, finishing's fine. He should hopefully, I'm not going to put all of our trust in him to keep us in the Premier League, but it is what we're going to be looking at. Him and Salcido to do the business for us as our attacking forwards. And 8.25 million, if we sell him, we should make a profit regardless. And then lastly, Adamo Nagalo, who's been on our shortlist pretty much since the first season we started playing this. 8 million spent, 30,000 a week. He's going to be our first choice centre-back. Potentially could play as a defensive midfielder if required. But 6'1", he's young. He should hopefully do the business for us. And all of that, our finances, we're 14 million in the reds. And the wage budget, we're currently 50,000 over our committed spending that we're going to be looking at here. There's a few more kind of transfers that we are looking at. Ferreira, backup wing player, is going to be in on a free at the end of the season. I think it's like £17,000 a week. We'll see how he goes. If he gets a work permit, we'll see if that comes in. Another one potentially on the out, Maurice Kratenmacher. We've got him on a free in our season last. Hasn't played for us. He got a work permit while he was out on trial. He's valued at 16 million. We've offered him out, and AC Milan have put a bid in of 11.75 million, but with 50% of any future sale on as well. So he wasn't going to play for us. He's not good enough to play for us in the Prem. He's probably got a future ahead of him, but I haven't got the time to invest into him. So hopefully Milan can do it. It'll make him a world beater, and then we'll get 50% on if anything that's going to go from there. We've put a couple of bids in as well. Giovanni Fabian. I want a CDM. It's going to be our main shopping list now of a CDM. Just because I'd like to have a good 4 players in there, and at present we've only got 3. And Aryan Ibrahimovic, he's out of contract at the end of the season. Bayern, because we've got a bad relationship with them, won't allow us to get him back on loan. So we've tried to bid in 2.2 million, and we'll see where we go for that. So we are coming into our first game of the season. We are playing Fulham. Our team, as it stands now, let's just do it now. We'll pick it now. So Mealy's going to be our first choice goalkeeper. We'll have 9 substitutes on the bench this season, so I don't want to put a goalie on, but Tobias can go in as our backup goalie, just in case. Right back is going to be, where is he? Niambe. He's been training well. He's in a good bit of form from last season. There's a lot of the players that was saying that I'd like to keep, and they're probably our first. They could do a job for us in the Prem. So we're going to stick with them and see if they can carry us to safety at the very least here. So Niambe at right back. Joe Worrell, fantastic free signing when he came in at last season. He's on 30,000 a week. There's a lot of players that have kind of jumped up in wages since we did get promoted. But Worrell, first choice centre back, strong. He should do a good job for us in the Premier League. And side by side is going to be with Nagalo. Just gone over his stats. Came in for 8 million, so hopefully he'll do a good job for us. At left back, we have Longello. A fantastic season last season. Probably one of our best players. 7.07. It's not great, but again, good English contingent. Obviously, got a cap for the Congo, but very happy. Someone to build upon. Still young at 23 years old. Very happy with that. We just need a backup left back to kind of cover him. But as I mentioned with Fredericks, he could cover a job at left back if required. So deep line playmakers, it's kind of been the position that we've needed to fulfill. Saying that as well, we've got Bresciani on loan, keep saying that, on trial. As a backup, should be fine, depending on his wages, but yeah, should just be a backup at the very most there. So to start for the season, I think Jordan James is one that he has been impressing me, so we are going to start with Jordan James. And alongside him is going to be Almendra, just because, you know, Harry Winks has only just come into the club, so he's going to kind of be a bench player for now. And if any of these kind of their form drops, then we've got someone of Harry Winks' quality to come in to take over. So 28 years of age, should be coming into his prime. So for the bench, we're going to go with Kovacic as our centre back. We're probably going to see Maldo and Tabidze. I'm looking at getting rid of both. Now Tabidze can potentially play left back also. We're going to go with Tabidze and Fredericks. So those four should cover centre back, left back, and right back as a substitution point of view. So right wing, Nicolas Pepe, brought him in last season. Again, he was released by Arsenal for whatever reason. He's due a 50% on of any transfer that comes in, but at least now there's no non-promotion release clause in his contract. So he's due 50% of anything. Even if we sold him for 30 million, we still make 15 million on him. And for a free transfer on 20,000 a week, it seems like a no-brainer kind of to keep him going around. On just looking at this, our bench players, we're going to go with Winks and probably Bellingham as our centre mid options. Bellingham, I don't think he's not doing too bad. He's got a good value on him, and he's a couple of years into his contract as well before it expires. The same with James. James he signed a new contract and then wanted another one, so he's not happy with us at the minute. If we try and go into the contract negotiations, apparently we promised him something that we haven't completed, so he's not a happy boy at the minute. Left wing, going to be Chong. Fantastic last season for us. One of our better players. So, yeah, a lot of these players. So if we got Mele, Niambe, Worrell, Longello, James, Almendra, Pepe and Chong, there was all our first team last season. So we just tried to look at quality signings to bring in. We haven't tried to go too over the top with our signings. I think Gian, I want to start him as a striker. Pressing forward potentially is his best one, so we're going to go with pressing forward for him here. And Lasme, top goal scorer last season, we're going to stick with him up front as well. So not a lot of change. Gian and Nagalo, there are any kind of updates to our team that started the playoff final in the last game. For our bench, Andrade, he's probably got a good season ahead of him here. He's been progressing well, trying to put him across the front three. I don't see him as a striker. He's our right winger, potentially left winger, cutting inside. Cabbage, again on the bench. And, right, I want Trasoldi on the bench. Maybe we don't need Tabidze. Maybe we'll get rid of Tabidze. So I would like to have two strikers on the bench if necessary, and Eddie Salcedo is going to come in as well. He had a good season last season. I think he finished on 17 goals. 17 goals in the league. Good going for 1.8 million. Can't complain there. And Joe Lumley, just a backup goalie. He's going to be behind Tobias at the very least. So Tabidze and Maldo, kind of looking to move both of those on. Patrick Roberts, just if there's any injuries, is a backup player. We put Renty back into the mix, but to be honest, I don't see him making a career of himself, but he can train with the first team, that's fine. Carmelo, he wants a new deal, but we don't. Trying to get rid of him. 5 million is what we're asking for. However, we only spent 235,000 on him. Be a good backup, and obviously Clapton Matcher will be leaving us, hopefully, to go to Milan. And if we look at we've got quite a small squad now. Frank Tatum, he came in for our youth in real life as well. We could try and move him out on loan. We've got Port Vale as our affiliate now. However, Solihull Moors, he'll be a star for them. So we'll let him go out for 6 months and see if he can do it down there as well. Ben Beresford also. I mean, he doesn't look as great as when I first saw him. We can't offer him out either because he's on a youth contract. Andrew Dempsey, 16 years old. He's got a good value on him. Can't offer him a deal just yet as well. Callum Elder, trying to move him on. He's on 7,000 a week, which is a lot, really, for a backup. Maybe we'll move him just into the senior squad just for now. And looking at that, Tobias needs to be registered, so let's do that now. Yeah, so for this season, I'm probably going to cut out all my waffle, except for this kind of introducing you to the squad, and focus more on the games and transfer special here and there when it comes in to the transfer window deadline. But for now, I'll see you at the game against Fulham. One thing I should have probably pointed out regarding our transfers out, Keenan Davis has gone to Ipswich. We remember Ipswich from last season. Absolute monsters. They came in with a 6.5 million bid for Keenan Davis. I thought it was worth selling him on for this fee, mainly because it helps out the finance and also as well the career stats. He scored 6 goals, no assists in 30 total games. So I thought for the 6.5 million that came in for that, it covers the Tresoldi bid and also helps with our finances as well. So just thought I'd highlight that as well because Davis is no longer at the club. So coming into the first game of the season, we have got Fulham. Looking at Ipswich running, they've got Man City. So I think we kind of dodged a bullet there. Obviously trying to get the best start to the season that we can so far. Looking at Fulham's team, I don't think it's too dissimilar to how it has been for a few seasons now. Mitrovic up front, with Diop as our centre back there. Trying to see who their kind of best player is, and Pelinia must be on the transfer list of 57 million. One day we will have players just as good, if not better. They've also got Stroikens. Is he from Anderlecht? Yeah, they spent 30 million on him this season, so some well-known players to come up against here. So for our team, we are going to go with Lasme and Afina Gian up front, Chong left wing, Pepe right wing, Almendra and James in the centre defensive midfield positions, Longello, Nagalo, Worrell, Nyambe, and Mealy at the back. Only Nagalo's coming in as a differentiation to our last game that we did play. Fingers crossed. Let's get into it. Casper or Tobias is on the bench. Needed a squad number. Hopefully we can just be as positive as we can with the team. Well, who didn't like that? Pepe didn't like it. Almendra didn't like it. Nor did Jordan James. So that's not great to start with. But our lovely stadium here. Looks better than it does in real life anyway. So we'll sit back and hopefully pick up a result against, to be fair, a very good Fulham team. So Pepe with the corner, 5 minutes in. Worrell heads it just over. What I might do for this season as well, just to speed up the highlights just a little bit. So Fulham break against us here. Andreas hits it out to the right, but Longelo does win it back. Inside to Pepe. Pepe turns, running inside from the left-hand side, into the byline, crosses it in, but Leno plucks it out of the air. Disappointing cross there from Pepe. I was hoping it would hit Lasme in the middle as the target forward, but not to be. Mitrovic winning a big header there for Fulham. Andreas on the right, into Stroikens. Ben Rama, great save by Melee. I'm surprised that there wasn't a follow-up there by Mitrovic, but we kind of escape with that there. Andreas again. Is that Andreas Pereira? He seems to be their hub of... That's a foul, surely? Polinia. Yeah. Andreas seems to be their outlet here. Let's have a look at him. 28 years old. Yeah. Yeah, he looks fine. That was his season last season. 7.01 in the Prem. No, you can't really ask much more than that. And they're setting up with a similar formation to us. Well, similar style to ourselves. Except instead of having the second striker, they've got the attacking mid as well. Now, Worrell won a good header there against Mitrovic. Hopefully we can neutralise him going forward. Chong on the left, into Lasme. Back to Almendra, over the top to Afina. First shot on target. That's a powerful effort, but great save by Leno. Promising start from our kind of second record signing. Pepe to cross it in. Lasme's at the back post, but doesn't get to him. Back out to Almendra. To Nagalo. To Almendra. End of the highlight. But promising. Mitrovic loses out there to Niambe. Nagalo even. To Worrell. Into James. To Almendra. I'm quite happy with the 35 minutes that we've played so far. Longelo to Chong. Down the left for Chong. Into Lasme. To Almendra. What's he going to do? Lovely ball there to Chong. First time into Pepe. 1-0. I think it's onside. Don't know what the referee's calling back here for. The linesman's flag hasn't gone up. So we'll see. Been awarded. First goal of the season. Comes from Pepe. Lasme to Almendra. Lovely ball over the top there to Chong. First time cross. And first time finish from Pepe. Linesman kept his flag down. Promising start. So looking at possession-wise as well, we are dominating possession. And the shots as well. Our XG of 0.87. So we are matching our XG with our 1-goal lead here so far. We're just going to kind of motivate the team again. And highlight straight away. Niambe to Chong. Down the right now for Chong. Crosses it in. Headed away by Diop. Almendra outside of the box. That's a poor ball. Andreas does pick it up. James doesn't get onto it. Polinia hits it. Although it's a bad back pass by Reed. Afena kind of snatched at his effort there. But we do come again with another highlight. 2 in the first 3 minutes here. Longelo to Pepe. Cuts deep inside there. James to Almendra. Lovely to Pepe. Inside to Lasme. Back to Almendra. There's Afena. Oh, it's just been blocked. Who's got that block in there? Brian. What a monster block that was there. So Pepe again. He crosses it in from the left. Worrell tries to win it. Out to Almendra. Harrison Reed, is that? It is Harrison Reed. He does nick it from Almendra. They could counter us here. Almendra does win it back, but then Reed wins it back off him. Very scrappy. Into Stroikens. Tete in the right back position now. And ended the highlight. That's very peculiar. I'll be fuming if that was our highlight then. Coming into the 60th minute. Not a lot has changed since then. The players' fitness levels, they are fairly okay. I think potentially change our 2 strikers off if nothing happens here. Diop to Afena, to Chong, to Almendra, to Afena. Great play. Unlucky there. Should have got the finish. Leno gets down to stop him. We are going to make a few changes here. Shots-wise, we've dominated possession. Let's not lose it now. So, Chong, we're going to bring you off for Andrade. Almendra in midfield. We're going to give Harry Winks a run out here. Lasme and Afena. I mean, We're being on Salcedo and Tresoldi. And with we'll save another substitution to run down some time. I mean, not a lot's happening here, so fingers crossed. There we go. Spoke too soon. Nambe out to Andrade. He hits it wide to Pepe, but it's cut out by Brian. Lukic runs forward. Not like this, Football Manager. Melee. Didn't doubt him there. We're going to bring Pepe off. And we're going to bring on Kabic as well. Just to run down the time. Andrade with a corner. He crosses it in. Worrell doesn't jump. Kabic gets outside the box. Back out to Andrade. Just keep it in the corner there. Into Worrell. There's a minute left. Worrell, reverse pass to James. Keep the ball here. Brian's up front for them now. Not sure what's happening with this highlight. Brian's running. Someone take him down. Take him down. I think he's their centre-back. Longello, good tackle. Into James. Into Nagalo. Back to Longello. Into... Oh my God, what's happened here? I think he's onside. I don't know what. Please? Please? Yes! Not sure what's been disallowed for, but I think we escaped with that there. Great start to the season. Nagalo into James, into Worrell. Just slow it down. Nyambe. Please, ref, blow the whistle. There's Kabic. The ref has blown the whistle. What a 1-0 win that is. Great start to the campaign. As mentioned before, there's only 2 changes to our first team here, so that kind of shows how potentially strong our squad was in the Championship. But up in second place, end the season there, and I'll see you for the next game. So we're back for the second game of the season now. We're playing Leicester City. Let's see how they are looking in the Premier League. Okay, Mauro Icardi as their main striker, so a different player to what we kind of been used to in the Championship. Scored 2 goals in the Prem. Have they just signed him this season? They have 22 million. That's a bit scary to see there. I mean, James Maddison is still at the club, 125,000 a week. There are a lot of good players in this club again. If we look, Tielemans is still there, Maddison, Barnes, Ndidi. Fingers crossed. It's going to be a different kind of a test than playing Fulham, I believe. But we did well in the last game, so we will stick with how we are going into this one here. I think Fenagian, he did fine. His rating didn't say a lot about his performance, but I think from the highlights that we did see, I'm not too unhappy with his performance there. It was just missing the goal. But he got into some good spaces and did a good couple of efforts as well. So Icardi, they won their game. Leicester won their game. And if we can become like Leicester in a few seasons, just be a good solid Premier League team, then I'll be happy with that. To start with anyway, before we push on. Longello's injured in 2 minutes. Right. This will, depending on what the injury is, potential foot injury. Maybe we won't go for a defensive midfielder. Maybe we'll have to keep Tabidze. Or just go all in and get a second left back. But looking at the first 20 minutes, we're dominating possession. We just haven't had a shot just yet. So Tielemans, it's inside to Daka. Daka's running into the box. It's squeezed past Melly. Poor goal to concede. But the quality that we're going to come against this season, we can't expect clean sheets in majority of our games. Yeah, sad to concede like that. I mean, Melly got a touch on it, but it just squeezed under him and into the corner. Not a great start by any means. If we look at the table, when it will allow me to, right, Nyambe to the right, There's Xian. Lovely bit of skill that is there. Into the byline. Is that a foul? No, it's not a foul. Almendra gets it deep in their half. Nagalo, back to Almendra, into James. Calm and composed, this is. James into Almendra, into Lasme. Back to Nagalo. I mean, their pressing here from Leicester's a little bit concerning if they catch us on the counter. Almendra through to Lesme, who's hit it first time, and Lasme's just put it over the bar. Not really troubling. Although an identical highlight here, Nyambe to James. Down the right-hand side. Nyambe back to James, back to Nyambe. Nice intricate pass in here. Nyambe back to James. To Almendra, to Nyambe, to Worrell. I mean, there's a lot of possession here, but not a lot of cutting-edge passing. Nyambe back again on the right. Feels like he's had the ball about 10 or 15 touches in this highlight. Worrell's been sucked out to right wing for whatever reason. I mean, they're pressing from Leicester. They're containing this quite well, but we're passing quite nicely around as well. Almendra over the top to Pepe. What can he do? Not a lot. Lasme, I don't know why he's kind of stopped that from going out for a corner, but it has gone for a corner anyway. Unlucky by Pepe there. What can he do with this resulting corner though? Pepe swings it in. Nagalo at the back post. Lasme tries to win the header, but Garay heads it clear. That can't be the highlight. Almendra, Nagalo to Worrell. Over the top to Lasme. Heads it into Afina Gian. He needs to start scoring these. He's got 14 finishing, so it's not shabby by any means, but he's had a few chances already this season to open his account for the club. Pepe swings it in. Worrell misses the header. Almendra wins it on the side of the box, so loses out to Garay. It's all nice with the passing, but it's not very clinical at all. Wolves are beating Man City. That's interesting there. Pepe swings it in. No jump from Worrell. Back out to Pepe. He's cutting inside. Gives it to Nagalo, to Almendra. Yeah, they're pressing here. It's stopping us from getting any kind of shots away. Fredericks hits it wide. Pepe to Almendra. Back to Nagalo. I mean, it's a bit of a... No idea what that is. Lasme hits it. Blocked again. Chong's hit it and it's blocked again. It's a free kick for offside. It's weird passing that's happening. Like they're from inside the box back to our centre-backs. Maybe it's due to Leicester's pressing, but looking at the stats here, we've had more shots and the more possession. Maybe we... I don't want to blame Gian, but he needs to be finishing these chances. Fredericks coming in at left back. He hasn't done anything to be noticed really, so I hope that the Longelo injury isn't going to keep him out for a long time. James to Almendra. Lasme is offside. He is offside. The flag's gone up. VAR will check this, but to be honest, I don't think there's any need to check. As expected. I think he was miles offside as well, Lasme. Let's have a look again. James, yeah, he's standing well off there. Although all the highlights have been us here. Pepe crosses it in. Lasme heads it. Has just gone over. I mean, we'll demand more. Not that they can do any more, really. But I think our changes here is what's going to hopefully put us in the right direction. Jan, he will be coming off. We're going to put Tresoldi on up front. And Chong can come off as well for Cabbage. James will bring him off. Just because out of the two, his fitness isn't the best. And to be honest, looking at the defence, I know we're losing the game, but they haven't really done anything to warrant being taken off. Now Almendra's picked up a knock as well. We'll leave it another 7 minutes or so, but Icardi's probably going to finish this off, and he has finished it off. Yeah, that's game over. We'll get our changes on. We'll bring Bellingham on, and we'll take Pepe off, which we can't do because we've used our 5 subs because of Longelo being injured. I mean, Wild Face into Tielemans, lovely ball over the top to Icardi. He's chested it. I mean, I don't think any keeper's going to save that. So melee, yeah, can't complain about the finish. I can complain though about having 16 shots with 7 on target and no goals to show for it. But if we are playing like this against a strong Leicester team, I think I'm going to say that quite a lot in this this season. Every team in the Prem is quite strong. We've dominated the game there, just haven't come up with the goal. We move on. We've got Ipswich next, and we'll. Well, they didn't like that. Help. I'll see you at the Ipswich game. So looking at the long yellow injury here, he's out for 3 to 6 weeks. 3 to 4 if we send him to the physio. Not as bad as I feared. We will we'll hope that Fredericks or Tabidze can play at left back for the coming games, but thankfully it's nothing too major. So come back to a news item that Ferreira has got a work permit to join us in kind of January time here. He just looks fine. I think 17,000 a week will give us some depth on the wings, and if we don't like him, we should hopefully be able to sell him on for a profit. So we are going to accept this, and we'll see what happens when he comes in on the 1st of January. So we are back for the Ipswich game, which is probably going to be the last episode of the last match of the day. Looking at the table, we're currently in 13th. They're in 19th. It'll be interesting to see what their transfer business has been for this season. Signed Troy Parrott, or Parrott, not sure how you pronounce that, and someone Lucas de los Santos, who looks, he would actually probably would have been a decent defensive midfielder for us. They also signed Keenan Davis from us as well. Be interesting to see if he comes in and scores against us. It looks like they did a lot of their business at the end of the season. Chuba Akpom for 7 million. I mean, he's got good physicals, but other than that, it's probably going to be a different kind of style of play that we are going to be coming up against. Clatton Matcher, he's going to AC Milan. 4 million will be added to our budget. So he's going for 11.75 million with 50% of any future sale. Should be a good bit of business, especially for someone that's came in on a free. Just need to look at our wage. Yeah, our wages first. We need to amend that so we can actually get other players in for us. Longello, due to his injury, I think we are going to put Tabidze out at left back as a kind of fullback on defend. He knows the position well. He played a lot for us last season. Just hoping that he'll do a job in Longello's absence. Afina Gian hasn't been fantastic, so we are going to start with Salcedo. Lasme's played fine. Pepe played fine. And everyone else, it's just been fine. They're saying about dropping Melee for Tobias, but we'll see how we get on with this game here. If Melee makes any kind of major errors, then we'll look to swap him for the next game. So we've won and lost. And I'm not sure if Ipswich have any points so far. They don't. So they lost both of their games. First in, Worrell heads it in. I didn't see that. I didn't see what's happening. I don't know if it's offside or not. Referee's checking this on VAR. Who knows what's happening? Goal review has been disallowed. We'll see what that is all about. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to complain. But it's a good attacking intent so far. So Ipswich were kind of our bogey team last season. Although we did beat them once. That's got to be a goal. Surely Nagalo. Similar situation from the one that was disallowed just. Ipswich, they've just not been able to contain us from set pieces. I think because of this, we're going to play for more set pieces into this. Probably just hit early crosses because they may not be able to deal with the height that we do possess. So Pepe crosses it in. Nagalo, back of the 6-yard box. He heads it across goal, past the keeper. Fantastic start for us there. And stats-wise, I think we are just edging it slowly, but I'd expect us to build upon this, he says, as they get a highlight, and it has just been headed over. Interesting start to the highlight. Pepe running through on goal against Walton. Be interesting to see whose highlight this is for. Walton boots it long downfield. Nagalo calmly into James. Back to Nagalo. To Bidze at left back. Over the top to Lasme. Salcedo's there. What's Lasme going to do? He's gone round Walton. That's probably one of the softest goals you will see scored in terms of power. But he's used his brain there, Lasme. He's gone past Walton, and he's found the net from an acute angle there. So to Bidze, right over the top to Lasme. I mean, Walton, he committed, and then he stopped, and then Lasme's just slotted it in. Cracking start, 2-0. We can't let Ipswich get back into this game. I might be cursing us here. So Chaplin, straight away from the highlight, with me saying that. Back to Leif Davis. Into Sarialta. Wolfenden. Morsey to De Los Santos. Twine. Tabidze has been pulled over there. Burns crosses it in. Chaplin, Mealy with a great save there. We need to keep on our toes here still. Twine to cross it in from the corner. Lenihan heads it in. Both teams aren't playing very well. Looking at the set pieces that are coming in. We are going to take off our play for set pieces and the cross the balls in as well. So 2-1 at half time. Ipswich probably had the better of the shooting opportunity, which is shown by their XG. We have had the more possession, and we are leading so far. We're just going to try and encourage them just to do even better in this half here. Almendra into Salcedo. James over the top to Pepe. What can Pepe do? Runs into the box. I mean, it was deflected, cross in. Almendra gets it on outside of the box into Chong. He cuts inside and hits it, and it has gone over there. We'll make some changes around. So Almendra's fitness needs to be addressed. So we'll bring on Harry Winks. Chong also, we're going to bring on Andrade. Pepe, we are going to take him off, but not for... You know what, we'll bring Cabbage in. And Salcedo, another change for Gian. I feel like Jean's pace against a tiring Ipswich defence will hopefully cause some issues for them anyway. We're still in the lead here. Lasme, we'll keep him on for now. Jordan James as well. Nagalo wins the ball. Nyambe to Worrell. Nyambe back to Mealy. Worrell there. It's all nice and calm and composed. Winks gives it out to Tabidze, to Andrade. Playing down the left there. Nagalo to Tabidze. They are pressing a crossover, so if we can switch the ball here to the right, there should be a lot of space. Worrell into James. James to Cabbage. Over the top to Lasme. Fantastic finish by Lasme, that is. I was a bit worried that he would be in like no man's land, but 3-1. Good finish by Lasme. Second of the game. We're probably going to bring off James now. We will bring James off. And we give Joe Bellingham a run out for the last 15 minutes, including stoppage. Although kick-off highlights straight away, I don't think Football Manager enjoyed me making a substitution there. We are going to demand more. Wolfenden at the back. Into Parrot. Tell me down below. Athena has won it though. Can he finish it? He can't. He needs to go to finishing school. He needs to learn his etiquette and how to put those chances away. It's 3 chances in 3 games that he should have capitalised on, but hasn't done it so far. We'll give him time. He's not a bad player. He's getting himself in these positions, but a very comfortable 3-1 win in the end. We demanded the ball, we controlled possession, and we had more shots with more on target as well. Not sure why our XG is a 0.97, considering we scored 3 goals, so I'm not going to complain. we'll praise them for that good win. Keep the morale up. Lasmail on 8.4, which is fantastic. Very nice indeed. So that is where I'm going to leave it for this episode. Tried to change things up a little bit from the last episodes that I have been putting out, especially for the season in the Prem as well. I've tried to improve my presentation of this episode. But for Blues, currently sitting in 4th, 6 points from 3 games. Very happy with that. We lost to a good Leicester side as well. 13 million in the bank. We are 23,000 under on wages. We'll look what we can play around with. We can drop it down to 10 and give ourselves like 38 million at 36,000, I should say, in wages to play with. Still potentially got another defensive midfielder to look at, and maybe an actual successor to Longhello at left back. But join me for episode 2, and we'll go from there. We'll probably have games against Crystal Palace, Peterborough in the Cup, and West Ham also. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.